5 weeks pregnant, and on my birthday, my husband, to make his first love happy, tripped me while I was wearing a formal dress, took my chair, and humiliated me in public. His first love laughed loudly. Enduring the pain in my belly, I threw the whole dining table of food onto him and his first love. But then he pointed at me and accused, "It's your birthday. Why do you have to ruin the atmosphere like this? Apologize to Anna." As David said this, he tightly grabbed my hand, as if he wouldn't let me leave the house unless I apologized. The people around, while comforting the crying and wronged Anna, blamed me. "Come on, Sarah. Anna's in a bad mood. We were just trying to cheer her up with a joke. It's your birthday. Do you really need to be so serious?" Angry and in pain, I suppressed the tears threatening to spill, grabbed a nearby chair, and threw it at the group. The chair hit the dining table, and Anna was splashed with a pot of hot food, letting out a scream. David immediately rushed over, heartbroken, to check on her, then looked at me furiously. "Sarah, everyone is here for your birthday. It was just a joke. What are you doing, throwing a tantrum?" "It was just a joke," I retorted. Anna stood nearby, her face pale, helpless, fighting back tears. "David, Sarah just doesn't like me. I shouldn't have come here. I'll leave now." Of course, David wouldn't let her go just like that and blocked her path. "Leave? Why would you leave?" "She's the one who should leave," he said, his face turning pale, grabbing me. "Sarah, even if you dislike Anna, you should consider the occasion. Apologize to Anna." It was as if I didn't apologize, this matter wouldn't be resolved peacefully today. My ears were ringing. I was so angry I felt dizzy and wanted to smash her with a chair, but my stomach hurt terribly. Before I could speak, someone suddenly shouted, "David, your wife's leg is bleeding heavily." Only then did everyone notice the blood all over my leg. Because I was wearing a red dress, no one had noticed it at first. David froze, saw the blood on my calf and on the floor, and went blank for a moment. "What's wrong? Where do you feel unwell? Why are you bleeding?" Hearing bleeding, I finally felt the warm sensation on my calf. At first, I thought it was just splashed soup and hadn't paid much attention. But at that moment, I felt an inexplicable panic because I suddenly realized my period was a week late. The thought filled me with dread. "Quickly, take me to the hospital." When we arrived at the hospital, the doctor's words plunged me into despair. "Heavy bleeding in a pregnant woman resulting in a miscarriage. An immediate procedure for miscarriage is required." My vision went black. I struggle with infertility. It was difficult to get pregnant, but David absolutely loves children. For this child, for the past year, I had been constantly getting injections and medication for fertility treatment. My arms were bruised all over. I was taking herbal remedies until I felt like throwing up, and I had to face the disappointment and pain of not getting pregnant again and again. Relatives and friends all advised me to give up, but whenever I saw David holding other people's children with such a loving expression, I persevered. No matter what, I wanted to have a child with David, a crystallization of our love. But I never expected that the moment I learned of its arrival would be the moment I lost it. The doctor was clearly angry. "Can you just pull a chair out from under someone? People have been permanently paralyzed from jokes like that. You're her husband. Don't you know how serious this is?" David clearly hadn't expected his joke to have such severe consequences. "I'm sorry, I didn't know you were pregnant. I just saw Anna was upset and wanted to cheer her up. You know, we grew up together. We were just joking around. I didn't expect this. But Anna being upset had nothing to do with me. Why did he have to use me for entertainment? And he didn't mention a word about how Anna used to pursue him." I wanted to yell at him, but the pain was so intense I couldn't utter a single word. The doctor pushed me into the operating room. During the procedure, I felt everything stirring inside me, the fetus disappearing little by little. I felt like my heart was also being discarded, shredded piece by piece. I remembered David dragging me, demanding I apologize to Anna, and I couldn't stop myself from replaying every detail of my years with David. Only then did I realize everything had been predictable. Together for 10 years, married for 5 years. When we first got together, we were both poor, dirt poor. But he always gave me everything he could, like a sacrifice. In high school, we had nothing, but he would secretly fold 1,000 stars for me, allowing me 1,000 wishes. When someone bullied me, he would fight them like his life depended on it, then hold me with red-rimmed eyes. Sarah, don't worry, I'll never let anyone bully you. When others mocked the holes in my shoes, he would desperately try to protect my pathetic self-esteem, then ruffle my hair. Girls should dress up beautifully. Don't worry, I'll give you everything others have. Later, I failed college entrance exams, but he excelled. Soon we were in 2 different cities. Yet he treated me even better than before, because he said, only then could I feel his love. My original family wasn't good. Whenever I was wronged, even if I didn't say anything, as long as I called him, he could sense my emotions. Then he'd lose his appetite, couldn't sleep, and take a 12-hour train ride to my city in the middle of the night. Then he'd tell me, your parents favor your brother. It's okay, I'll love you from now on. These years, he always put my emotions first. His phone was always on for me, 24 hours a day. He said, loving someone is like tending a flower. I want you to be the most beautiful, most nourished flower in the world. But it seemed that from 3 months ago, when Anna joined his company, he started working overtime and attending social events frequently, often not returning my calls. When he was at house, he was always smiling at his phone. Sometimes he wouldn't come house until late at night, and when he did, he always looked impatient. Even though we lived together, if I was occasionally in a bad mood and went to him, his first reaction wasn't to comfort me, but impatience. He started caring more about other people's feelings than mine. It was even because Anna was publicly embarrassed and humiliated by a client today, felt ashamed and unhappy, and asked him, am I terrible? I always seem to embarrass myself in front of you all, unlike Sarah, who is always so composed. That David had to make me a spectacle on my birthday in front of everyone. At this moment, I didn't know whether the procedure hurt more or the pain David inflicted hurt more. After the procedure, David stayed by my hospital bed. I looked at him coldly. Get out. When I'm discharged, we're getting a divorce. David furrowed his brows. Sarah, stop messing around. Okay, the child is gone, but it wasn't your fault. You're not going to divorce me over something so small, are you? He actually thought I was messing around, that this was something small. He had no idea what I had sacrificed for this child. My head spun with anger. I didn't want to say a word and directly called the police officer. David's face instantly changed. Sarah, do you have to make things so ugly at that moment? I clearly realized that David truly didn't care about me that much anymore. It turned out a person's love or lack thereof could be so obvious. The one who used to tell me loving someone is like tending a flower could now say words that hurt me again and again, and even accuse me and humiliate me in front of so many people. I closed my eyes, trying not to lose control. Seeing this, David started apologizing again. I really didn't know you were pregnant, Sarah. I know you're hurting. I'm not doing much better. Don't worry, we'll have other children. Do you think children just appear because you say so? I couldn't understand why someone who had loved me so much could be so reckless when hurting me. Didn't he know how hard it was to get this child? If you like Anna, go like her. Why do you have to hurt me like this? David seemed to have been hit where it hurt, almost turning red with anger. Don't spread rumors. I have a completely innocent relationship with her. It was wrong of me to accidentally hurt you, but Sarah, this is our problem. It has nothing to do with Anna. Anna hasn't had parents' love since she was little. She's pitiful enough. Don't drag her into this. She's innocent. At a time like this, he was most afraid of me dragging Anna into it, as if he was terrified of me hurting her even a little. But just because she didn't have parents' love, did that mean I rarely lost my temper with David? But at this moment, I couldn't help but yell at him. Get out when I'm discharged. We're getting a divorce. I won't let you off the hook. We'll see each other in court. Seeing my state, David finally left. If he stayed in the hospital room, I would hate him, but with him gone, I felt both hatred and sadness. I lay on the hospital bed, tears still flowing uncontrollably. The pain of losing the child and the hurt David inflicted made it impossible for me not to be sad, wronged, hurt, and angry. In these together for 10 years, David and I had been through so much. That innocent, naive, and pure love from our school days, the long distance in college, pushing towards each other across vast distances, overcoming all difficulties to be together. Because we always put each other's emotions first, Even separated by 1,000 miles, we never felt distant from him. If I was in a bad mood, he would always come to be with me immediately, always on a standing room only ticket, standing for over 10 hours at a time. But when I went to see him, he always bought me a seat ticket. Over 4 years of college, we accumulated over 500 train tickets. When we first started our company, neither of us had money, but he would make our cheap rented house feel warm and beautiful, using inexpensive decorative lights to create a dreamy castle for me. Then tell me that we would live in a great house and have a happy family someday. Every time a wish came true, he would water the flower for me, pouring a little water and saying he was watering the flower. And now, even though we were physically close, I felt we were so far apart. Even though I still loved him so much, and we had everything, I could no longer feel his love. Because he didn't love me, he could ignore my feelings and pain. I don't know when I fell asleep. When I woke up, David was sitting by my hospital bed, looking down and sending messages on his phone. I looked at his phone and instantly saw that the person on the other side was Anna. I vaguely saw that he had sent the word darling. Those 2 words pierced my heart deeply. The other side said something, and David was about to reply when he sensed something and immediately looked at me. Meeting my gaze, he almost instinctively hid his phone. Sarah, you're awake. I'll call the doctor. Who were you messaging? Anna. Nobody. David frowned. I hadn't even said anything, and he was already defensively accusing me. Can't you stop bringing Anna into everything? He killed our child for Anna, and I couldn't even mention her. You care about her so much. Then go be with her. I won't let this go. But soon I couldn't remain calm, because I quickly learned that while I was asleep, David, to prevent me from escalating the situation, had told the police officer I accidentally fell and had also contacted my parents, who provided an agreement not to press charges. My parents even called to scold me, telling me I didn't know what was good for me, to calm down and stop making a fuss with David. I was so angry my chest hurt. For the next few days, I barely spoke to David, just told him to get out. But David stayed in the hospital room. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't stop looking at his phone and occasionally went out to take calls behind my back, I might have had the illusion that he hadn't changed his mind. But I knew it was just an illusion. Every time I saw him looking down at his phone or going out to make calls, I would guess who was on the other end. Despite trying hard to stop myself from overthinking, my heart wouldn't listen. Later, I couldn't resist looking at his phone. Looking at their chat history and moments/posts, I finally realized that the days he didn't answer my calls were spent with Anna. He said he was working overtime, but he was actually having candlelight dinners with Anna. He said he was on a business trip, but he was actually traveling with Anna. For her, he even learned about makeup, gave her romantic birthday surprises, and almost slept with her on her birthday, but managed to stop himself at the last moment. Anna asked him why, and he told her she was the untouchable bottom line in his heart. Looking at the word darling on the phone, my heart remained heavy for a long time. He was darling. What about me? What was I? I don't know how I processed all of this. I only knew I had to divorce. But I didn't expect that before I formally proposed divorce to him, I would run into David and Anna standing very close to each other outside my hospital room after going to the bathroom. Just as I was about to approach, I heard Anna ask Sarah, "Is your sister still blaming me for this and not willing to talk to you at all?" I stopped short at the corner, my footsteps halting. I heard David's reply, "She's still angry, a bit irrational. Don't mind her." Anna stood there, soft, weak, and slightly wronged, pulling David's hand. "When she threw things that day, she made such a long cut here on you. You haven't treated it all this time." I didn't mind, either. I heard she even called the police officer over. "You're just letting her make such a scene. That birthday too, she's your wife after all, but in front of so many people, she didn't care about your reputation at all. She used to be like this too, The doctor looked at her pale hand, and after a while, pulled his hand back. "He's not as understanding as you are, always considering others." I was about to laugh from anger. What a truly understanding cheating couple. Anna was afraid of being embarrassed. Well, I'll give her a show. Anna was about to speak. Without waiting for her to finish, I rushed over, grabbed her hair, slapped her face hard, and then took off my shoes and forcefully stuffed them into her mouth. You're so understanding, you're understanding another woman's husband. What kind of garbage are you spewing? They clearly hadn't expected me to come over. Anna's face instantly changed. Sarah, David, seeing Anna being attacked, immediately tried to pull me away. What are you doing? I held onto Anna's hair tightly, facing her towards the people around us, and shouted, "Everyone, come and see this cheating couple after causing his wife to have a miscarriage. They're flirting and getting intimate outside my hospital room, and she's saying I, the wife, am not understanding enough. Those hospitalized here were either pregnant, giving birth, or recovering from a miscarriage. The women in these marriages hated nothing more than a cheating husband and the other woman." People immediately gathered around, some pulling out their phones to record. David panicked. "Sarah, do you know what you're doing? I told you, I have no relationship with her." Anna tried to struggle. I slapped her hard again. "No relationship then? Why is she here accusing me you caused me to have a miscarriage? And she comes to tell you that I don't understand you." Then I looked at Anna and forcefully shoved the shoes I had just used in the bathroom back into her mouth. Anna gagged, on the verge of vomiting. I lifted her face towards the cameras. "You're definitely understanding. You can understand me treating you like this, right? Come on. Don't cover your face. Let everyone see what kind of trash the other woman of the new century is my husband, and this trash caused me to have a miscarriage, and then say I'm not understanding enough. Should I have tucked you both in bed and made sure you didn't catch a cold too? Be a good wife." David couldn't stand Anna being treated this way. His face was livid, and he moved to pull me away. "Sarah, can you please stop causing a scene?" The word scene made me want to slap him. But thankfully, before he could touch me, someone in the crowd blocked him. Someone shouted, "Your wife lost her child, and this shameless the other woman comes to your wife's hospital room. How despicable, your own wife and child are gone, and you're still protecting an outsider. Everyone, record it on your phones. We need everyone to see this cheating couple." Anna's face turned pale instantly. I pulled out a clump of Anna's hair, and then David forcefully protected her and dragged her away. I stayed there, watching David's retreating back, not stopping him. The video of me slapping Anna and forcing her to eat dirty shoes in the hospital quickly went viral online, causing outraged netizens. "This woman is shameless. She even goes to the hospital where the wife is staying and says the wife isn't understanding enough. Understanding your ass. It's a good thing you didn't kill her. This is exactly how you should be treated. See if she still has the face to be a person, and this man is defending this cheap the other woman. Seriously, your wife was pregnant, and you say she's making a scene. I hate men and women with no boundaries. Yes, I didn't cheat. I just saw her as a friend. Your wife had a miscarriage. Okay, idiot. And this cheap woman, coming to someone's hospital room to stir up trouble between a couple. Stop pretending to be innocent." I looked at these videos and directly sent them to the group chat David and Anna shared. David saw it, his face livid, and called me. "Sarah, take it back immediately." "I won't." "Are you trying to force her to death, Sarah? She's not like you. You have everything now. When you're sad and down, you have tons of people to comfort you. She worked so hard to get where she is today. Are you trying to completely ruin her and make us unable to continue?" It was hilarious. He actually thought I would continue to be with him. And how was her past any different from mine? Was she having a hard time? Wasn't I? My parents never considered my feelings. In their eyes, only my brother mattered. When I was little, I did all the chores at house. Asking them for school money was like asking for their lives, but they could turn around and find a way to get money for my brother's clothes and toys. When my brother and I fought, they would immediately slap me and accuse me. Didn't he know better than anyone how I worked together with him to get where I am today? Why should I bear his hardships? I directly handed him a set of divorce papers/divorce agreement. David's face changed as soon as he saw the divorce papers/divorce agreement. "I won't divorce you, Sarah. We've been together for 10 years. I worked so hard for you, for this family. You want a divorce over something so small? I only felt absurd. But I knew he didn't want a divorce because he still loved me, but because we had invested too much unspoken cost in each other over the years. Plus, he and Anna weren't completely together yet, and his feelings for me hadn't completely disappeared. I had also been taking care of his mother while she was sick. He needed someone like me." I looked at him. He didn't answer my calls for me. He knocked my chair out from under me on my birthday, causing my miscarriage for me, and kept blaming me. And when I had a miscarriage, he and Anna were condemning me outside my hospital room. Did you know how I felt when you protected her and walked away that day? Stop disgusting me. Losing the child is something small to you, but it's not to me. Since you think these things are small matters, I'll go find someone to care about you too. I directly found a college sophomore and brought him to David's company. David's company was still named after both of us. When the company was founded, to give me a sense of security, we even held the exact same shares. The deeper the love back then, the harsher the hurt now. When I got there, Anna was in David's office. David was comforting her. Don't worry about this. It's not your fault. Everyone at the company knows your character. She was still there. I pushed open the office door and sneered. There's really nothing to worry about. As long as you're shameless and trashy enough, you'll be fine. Anna saw me and instinctively hid behind David, her eyes instantly turning red. Sarah, you've misunderstood me. David shielded her behind him and coldly snapped, Sarah. Even though I had already planned to divorce David, his instinctive reaction still stung my eyes. But then he saw Alex behind me. David instantly stood up. Who is he? What do you mean by bringing him here? Didn't you say I wasn't understanding of you? I said with a cold smile. So I found someone to be understanding of you. David's face was livid, whether from anger or something else. Do you really have to do this? People in the company quickly started looking over. I used to work at the company. I only temporarily quit my job because David's mother was hospitalized and it was revealed that her caregiver was secretly abusing her. If it wasn't to take care of his mother, why would I leave the company? I smiled and said, this has nothing to do with Alex. I just hired him to do things for me. He's pitiful enough. Can you stop dragging everything onto him? After speaking, I ignored him and took Alex back to my own office. But the same thing, when it happens to you, is unbearable. David grabbed Alex and was about to strike him. I slapped David's face. Can you stop making a scene? We're at the company now. Do you have to make things so awkward and embarrassing for everyone? Anna went over to look at his face, then looked at me and said, suppressing her emotions, Sarah, you're really going too far. After all these years, David loves you so much and has been so good to you. How can you treat him like this? I grabbed her hair and dragged her towards the office door. You say everyone knows what kind of person you are. I think people don't know. Say whatever you have to say in front of everyone. Let me see how shameless you really are. You keep saying you're not the other woman, but even after I humiliated you like that, you stay here pretending to be pitiful. What kind of trash are you? Seeing me lay hands on Anna, David moved to help, but just as he moved, Alex blocked him. David, you're going too far. Sarah said she hired me for your own good. She's been so good to you. How can you team up with an outsider against her? David looked at him, closing his eyes tightly. Let's talk properly. David and I went aside. David asked me, what do you want? A divorce, I said, looking at him coldly. I want more than half of the shares in this company. Impossible. Then we'll see. For the next few days, wherever I went, I took Alex with me. What was even more ridiculous was that before this, David was always busy, either on business trips, working overtime, or attending gatherings. A man who didn't even have time to answer my calls suddenly had plenty of time to follow me around and start caring about everything I did since I brought Alex to the company. Even on my birthday, when Alex and I almost kissed at the company, David, whether from anger or pain, almost became violent. I looked at Alex pretending to be wronged. Sarah, I'm hurting so much. I looked at the heavier injuries on David. I accused him. Alex and I are completely innocent. Alex was in a bad mood. I was just trying to cheer him up and comfort him. It's your birthday. Do you really need to be so serious? David's eyes turned red. He seemed to be in extreme pain. Don't be like this. Nothing happened between Anna and me. I didn't do anything wrong to you. Can we please go back to being together? I laughed, throwing all the printed chat logs between him and Anna in front of him. Nothing happened. Does that mean you didn't fall for her? Or you didn't sleep with her? David looked at the chat logs, his face turning completely pale. But I wouldn't let him off the hook. Do you think you're some kind of hero, feeling proud of yourself for sticking to your bottom line? Well, I stuck to mine too. What are you so upset about now? But David, this is just the beginning for you. You haven't experienced the pain of trying to conceive, being pregnant, and having a miscarriage. It's only been a few days, and you can't stand it, yet you expect me to understand you. Don't you think that's funny? Finally, David couldn't stand it anymore and agreed to the divorce. Indeed, no matter what, only when it happens to you do you truly understand what empathy is and what unbearable pain feels like. But even after he agreed to the divorce, I witnessed his shamelessness. If we divorce, you leave with nothing. Only then did I realize that when a man completely shows his true colors when discussing divorce and property, no matter how much pain or love he showed before, he becomes monstrous and unrecognizable. I won't leave with nothing. Also, regarding you causing my miscarriage, I have already filed an appeal. I'm going to file a lawsuit you for aggravated assault. Did you think I would let this go just because you got my parents to sign an agreement not to press charges? As for the divorce, I'll directly file a lawsuit. This company already has my shares. I looked at him and Anna. No matter where he went, I would find someone to follow him and let everyone know what kind of person he was. After saying this, I directly plastered the chat logs between him and Anna all over the company and uploaded them online. I also sent a copy to his mother at the hospital. David was furious seeing this. You're causing all this trouble, putting false accusations on me, and breaking up this family all for money, aren't you? He ignored my feelings and kept defending Anna, pushing me to this point, and then he put all the blame on me, saying I was breaking up the family, that I was after money, turning me, the injured party seeking divorce, into the unreasonable one. I knew he wanted to use this tactic to make me too proud to talk about money with him. Yes, I love money. Since you don't care about money, why don't you just give it to me otherwise, during the time I file a lawsuit you? After speaking, I took Alex and left the office door. We officially got our divorce. When we divorced, he gave me half of the joint assets. I filed a lawsuit to reclaim everything he had given Anna. It was our joint assets. Regarding this matter, David didn't argue with me, but he was bothered by it. You and Alex, it was just to make me angry. You don't have a relationship, right? Of course I wouldn't tell him. I wanted him to always wonder. If you say there's no relationship, then there isn't. Whatever makes you happy. Leaving the courthouse, David was silent for a long time. He said he was sorry that he was leaving. He actually started confessing. He said he never truly intended to be with Anna. At first, he just thought she was pitiful, like a fragile porcelain doll who needed constant companionship and care. She was like his past self, making him worry and fret, unlike me, who was always strong and decisive, seemingly unbreakable. He realized he was giving Anna too much attention and wanted to control it. He took me on a trip around that time, wanting to remind himself that I was the one he loved and that he needed to completely cut ties with her. But on Anna's birthday, they both got drunk and almost slept together. From that day on, he was like an addict, terrified of being discovered by me, yet unable to control his attraction to her. She always looked at him with a pitiful gaze that made him feel like he was her whole world. She made him feel indispensable, giving him a softness he had never experienced before. Unlike me, who was always assertive, always strong and equal to him. He couldn't stop wanting to contact her, yet he was afraid of hurting me. On my birthday, he didn't know why he chose to side with her, as if he was possessed, unable to even see my pain. He said he didn't really want to fight me for property, he just didn't want a divorce, he was afraid of divorce. He said he truly loved me, couldn't let me go. He asked me, does our relationship of so many years really have to end like this? Can we get back together? I thought it was funny. He couldn't let me go, so he hurt me the moment you pulled the chair away for her and our child was gone. There was no possibility left for us. He smiled bitterly, still a little unwilling. You always seem so calm, it's like you can abandon me anytime, as if you never cared about me. That's not true. I wasn't calm at all. At the hospital, I cried again and again in the middle of the night, but he only cared about Anna and couldn't see my tears and pain. He probably forgot I was once a very soft person. It was only when we failed at our company and he was humiliated, and I stood in front of him, that I gradually became strong and brave. For him, I poured out my heart and soul. I gave everything I had, like a sacrifice. And he probably didn't even realize that, right up until the divorce, he was still pushing the blame onto me, thinking it was my personality that caused this situation. My together for 10 years of love ended in utter defeat. How could I let him get away unscathed? David, do you know how disgusting you are? You say she's like the old me. But why did I change from such a soft person to this? It's because when you were in debt and being beaten, I stood in front of you. When you failed business deals, I charged ahead for you. I valued you more than my own life. But what about you when I had a miscarriage? You stood in front of Anna. I completely moved out of our house. This city held too many painful memories. So as soon as the divorce papers were in hand, I sold all my shares to his competitor, blocked all his numbers, and moved to another city. Even though I didn't deliberately follow David's news, after together for 10 years, we had many mutual friends. I still heard from friends that he was looking for me everywhere, and even managed to have a chance encounter with me. But at that time, Alex was standing next to me. Alex had been pursuing me recently. After David, I had learned to be indifferent and cut my losses when it came to love and the word forever, but I wouldn't refuse love either. David was in agonizing pain for a long time after this. He asked me, do you love him? For now. He's so young, he can't possibly end up with you. And how do you know he's not just after your money? You're not young, and you didn't end up with me either. You didn't want my money, you wanted my life. David was silent for a long time. I heard about David again when he and Anna got married. And the reason he married Anna was that she was very much like the old me. When I heard this reason, I felt nothing but disgust. But not long after, I heard they weren't doing well. Because the video and chat logs were uploaded online, Anna was pointed at wherever she went, which made David lose face. Eventually, he stopped taking her out. Anna became extremely sensitive and mentally unstable. At first, David would comfort and coax her, but after a while, combined with business setbacks, he became impatient and started frequently comparing her to me, thinking she only knew how to pretend to be pitiful and couldn't help him in his career at all. Their conflicts gradually increased. David started not wanting to come home, couldn't help but frequently check my and Alex's moments/posts, and his phone and computer were full of our photos. Even the house they lived in was filled with memories of me and David, making Anna extremely insecure. She called me more than once. Stop bothering David, only then did I realize David had been to my city more than once. I remembered hearing he had been here the day before yesterday and said with a laugh he was in my bed yesterday. How does it feel, seeing your husband with someone else? After saying that, I hung up the phone. Anna lost control on the spot and almost got into a fight with David. Later, Anna became pregnant. Whenever David tried to mend things even a little, she would become suspicious and call David constantly. One time, David got drunk at a bar and met someone who looked very much like me. He mistook her for me and almost slept with her, and Anna happened to catch them. Anna had a fierce argument with her and tried to hit the other woman, but David shielded the woman. He lost control and pushed Anna down the stairs. When Anna arrived at the hospital, not only had she lost the child, but she had also injured herself and could never get pregnant again in this life. This caused Anna's mental state to completely collapse. When she discovered David was still in contact with that woman again, she retaliated against him wildly. She went to David's parents' place and made a scene, smashing everything in the house I used to live in with him. Then, one night, while he was asleep, risking prison time, she used scissors to cut him, ensuring he could never be a normal man again. Later, I often received a strange call in the middle of the night. When I answered, no one spoke. I quickly realized it was David. Just as I was about to hang up, I heard his hoarse voice. Don't hang up. Then I heard a sob. Perhaps only at this moment did he truly feel the pain of unbearable regret. He said to me, Sarah, I truly regret it. If only I hadn't taken the wrong path, hadn't put her feelings before yours. We would have a cute child now, a son or a daughter. They would call us mommy and daddy. They would be clingy and spoiled. But I knew it was because of his misfortune that he regretted it, that he imagined this. If he and Anna were happy after getting married, he wouldn't have thought of the child who was never born. After all, the child was gone. He had said more than once that I was making a scene over something so small. No, I interrupted coldly. You ended all of this. You made it impossible for yourself to ever have your own child in this life. Don't call me again. And his pain had just begun, because later I might get married and have children again. Every turning point in my marriage would repeatedly cut at his heart, and he would forever dwell on it. The happier my family was, the more pain and sadness he would feel, because all of this could have been his. I hung up the phone. I blocked his number again. His life was over, but mine had just begun.